안녕하세요 여러분, Tony입니다. Hello everyone, it's Tony. So, without me realizing, actually, the Rain Man himself has done a collaboration with Jackson Wang, none other than Jackson Wang from China, Jackson Wang from Korea now, because he's trying to get back into the Korea stuff, releasing his music there. It's really, really awesome for him. And this is from Rain's most recent album titled Pieces by Rain. Actually just got released yesterday, and with that being said, you should definitely go check out his music video, the title track being titled Why Don't We, featuring Chang'a. It's absolutely magical, very beautiful of a song, kind of like James Bond-esque. And to that extent, if you want to go check out my music video reaction as well, the one take performance video reaction of them, they'll all be linked in the description box below, as well as any other Rain reactions I do have, whether it be to SSAK3's Beach Again, or even his collab with Papa JYP on Switch to Me. But with that being said, also we're going to include the Jackson Wang playlist down in the description box below, because there's a lot of Jackson Wang and I love me some Jackson Wang. So without further ado, let's get into this. I actually saw a teaser on the, not teaser, but on the Team Wang Instagram for Jackson. They actually showed a picture of actually Jackson alongside Rain, in both in suits, and I was like, oh, this would be a really fun collab because their voices would go really well together. And lo and behold, they actually did a collab for the actual album. I'm really surprised, but I'm super excited. So without further ado, let me stop babbling on and let me just get into it. Let's go. Ooh, it's like an R&B vibe. Nice. Kind of like low chill. Ooh. No lie, I think the opening was Jackson, but it's very possible that it was Rain. Their voices go very hand in hand together. I have to hear both voices come up. I think they haven't come up both yet. It'd be very interesting to... Is there English subtitles? There's no English subtitles. I think this... Okay, so that's Rain. So I think the beginning was actually Jackson. Or it could have been both Rain. I'm actually... The vibe of this song is very kind of like almost very R&B, late evenings, chill vibe type of beat, because you have the like the bass in the background, the electric bass, and then the just simple kind of drums to it. Very simple beat, but it has a bit more of a faster tempo to it, which makes it a bit more kind of like lively and a bit brighter and a bit kind of, I would say, less in that evening kind of like sadness, like chill vibes, to like a bit more of like a afternoon towards evening song. Oh, the vocal abilities. Woo! Stuck in your love. Again, similar to what Rain has been releasing, even with Why Don't We, there's like that element of almost a nostalgic retro feel to it. And I think in particular, it's that here, there's this little element that's like, boom, there's like a light. There's that boom, like that in the background. And with this like a chorus kind of like voice amplifying, has a bit of that like almost retro feel, you know, like that like a choir kind of like amplification sound to it. The vocals are amazing though. It's a very powerful song. I think very special and heartfelt. Woo! Woo! The high notes. This has to be Rain. Ooh. The way it transitions into the chorus, like baby you can be magnet, it kind of like feels like a reset, like a re-loop on the song. It's very cool how they did it. It's interesting because there's like a lot of heavy emphasis on the bass right there. Waiting your love. Oh. Ah, okay, so up until now, it's all been Rain. Rain really killing it, by the way, with those really beautiful high notes and just like his vocal a bit like vocal voice in particular, very unique. It has like that higher pitch, but he can hit the deeper tones. So there is a good variety and range, and he just like that, he's showing off that he hits those high notes. And now we get that like what now I know for sure is the smokier voice of Jackson Wang, a bit kind of just more mystique, a bit more kind of like rugged, I would feel very beautiful. I I love how they add that little like yeah yeah like that little kind of like more kind of playful nature because he's down now kind of like almost adding that rap element to it, a bit kind of more kind of like vibrant, youthful, hip vibe, a bit more swaggy, very cool. And again, the contrast in the voice a bit, Rain purposely I think doing a bit of a higher voice to match kind of like that bass, but then as well as to like build off of to make it very kind of like contrast heavy. Jackson more kind of like deeper tone voice, a bit smokier. Woo! Jackson's also being like, yo, you think he can hit IS? I can hit IS. Jeez. Oh, now there's that duality. They're building off of it. Very fun. Yes, Jackson. Jackson, you can be magnetic, man. Ooh. Okay, so it's kind of like a love song, a bit like a bit of relationship. And by the way, to that extent, I can't wait for Jackson's love song release that he's going to be releasing this month in March. I'm very, very excited for that, all as well as all the other collabs. I think Jackson in a most recent interview said there's around something like 40 song collabs that he's releasing this year, songs and collabs that he's releasing this year. He has a full English album as well as a full Chinese album coming in. Can't wait for all the Jackson Wang stuff. Team Wang all the way, man. Team Wang all the way. Woo! So the beat of the song hasn't changed at all. The kind of general vibe of it doesn't change. They're changing it by having Jackson, Rain, and then interchanging and then playing off of one another and having these high notes for now Jackson, whereas in the past they were Rain. So it sounds like something different, even though it's just a different person, but it's a different interpretation of the same thing by by a different singer. So cool to see each one having that own perspective on the song. Control. Yeah, yo, really, really nice song in my personal opinion. I really enjoyed overall the whole vibe. A bit more of like an R&B kind of bit brighter. There was like this like almost like boom, like I don't know what it is. There's this little like right there, the boom, like that little noise. They have it throughout these little kind of like fun, playful elements. A bit more of like a kind of just distant, kind of like light popping or something noise. And then in particular, when Jackson comes in, there's this kind of like fun, playful sound that comes in, like the kid, like kind of like prankster. I wonder if I can get it. Yeah, like yak yak, like yak yak. You know, like that kind of like yeah, like I like how they changed up the beat a bit more to fit Jackson's voice a bit deeper, a bit in tone. But again, both voices really playing off of one another very well. I think we see that very well towards the end, where we see that like them interchanging, going Jackson, Rain, Jackson, Rain, Rain, Jackson, really playing off of one another. And even when a section where it sounds very familiar to us because it's the exact same song part that Rain had done already, it's Jackson now, and seeing that interpretation of how a different artist interprets one's work in a different section is really cool to see. And I really think that, again, just as I expected, just as I thought, their voices playing off of one another really nice. The collaboration really fit perfectly, really harmoniously, and it's a really fun project. So I'm really looking forward to seeing now, most likely, the Rain Man on Jackson's album, and that'll be a cool, fun treat because I think that'll be some really cool differences in just kind of similarities. I think here this gave us, I think, a really good like taste as to what would come of it, and I'm a big fan of it. We're all for it. So guys, let me know in the description about the comments down below, what did you think of this collab? Who do you think the Rain Man should be collabing with next? Who do you think Jackson should be collabing with next? And to that extent, hopefully you do check out one of my other videos related to either Jackson in the Jackson playlist or also Rain in the description box below. So with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm Samida, and as always, if you have any comments, questions, or something you want to talk, feel free to leave it in the comment section below, and I'll get to you as soon as possible. With that being said, guys, it's been Tony, 안녕히 계세요, goodbye, and I'll see you in the next video. 안녕.